Coming to the 65th problem, you can see that this equation I can write it as dx by dy is equal to e power y minus x. So I have dx by dy plus x is equal to e power y. Now this is a linear differential equation. This is there in intermediate textbook itself. You know how to solve this one. So I am doing it in my own way. So that is one there. So I don't know what notation you have followed. That is why I said I'm doing it in my own way. I have a is equal to e power y and b is equal to integral q a, that will be e power y into e power y dy. So I'll have it as e power 2y, integrating I'll get e power 2y by 2. Therefore the general solution of the differential equation is nothing but e power y into x is equal to e power 2y by 2 plus c. Now using the fact that y of 0 is equal to 0, so that is when x is 0, y is 0, substituting 0 and 0 in the place of x and y, I'll have LHS is 0, right hand side I'll have 1 by 2 plus c. Therefore I have c is equal to minus 1 by 2. Therefore the particular solution becomes e power yx is equal to e power 2y by 2 minus 1 by 2, sending the 2 right to the other side. That is what I get. Now actually he asked us to find y from this, so I see it as a quadratic in e power y. So I have 2x into e power y plus 1 is equal to, minus 1 is equal to 0. So from this I have e power y is equal to, that is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. And that means I have e power y is equal to x plus or minus root of x square plus 1. Now if you take minus here, then RHS will be negative, but LHS is positive, so minus is not possible. So I'll get e power y is equal to x plus root of x square plus 1. That means y is nothing but log of x plus root of x square plus 1. Let's go to next problem. This is a simple one. We have to go for scalar product of these two vectors. So using the formula inside these brackets, I have it as a bar dot a bar, that is a bar square, into b bar minus a bar dot b bar into a bar dot. For the second bracket, applying the formula, I have b bar square into a bar minus b bar dot a bar into b bar. So when I take the dot product, I'm going to have this into this as a square b square a bar dot b bar, and then this multiplied with this, I'll have minus a square a bar dot b bar into b square I'll have. Now I'll multiply with this, these two vectors, I'll have minus a square b square a bar dot b bar. The next part will be plus a bar dot b bar whole square I am getting into a bar dot b bar will be there. So I cancel this part and this part. The remaining part, if I take minus a bar dot b bar common, I am having it as a square b square minus a bar dot b bar whole square. We know that this is the formula for a bar cross b bar whole square. So I'll have it as minus of a bar dot b bar into a bar cross b bar whole square. I can also write the same thing as mod of a bar cross b bar whole square, and which is nothing but option A. Let's go to next problem. In this problem, obviously a point on the line is 2 1 minus 1 by 2, and vector along the line is 1 1 minus 1 by 2. Now normal to the plane is the components 1, 2, 6. So I see that if I take the dot product of these two, I am getting 1 plus 2 minus 3, which is 0. That means the line and the plane are, normal to the plane are perpendicular to each other. That means the line is parallel to the plane. So you want the distance between the line and the plane, take any point on the line. We know that this is one point on the line, this one is one point on the line. So you just find distance from that to the plane. We know that the plane equation in Cartesian form can be written as x plus 2y plus 6z minus 10 equal to 0. So you simply apply distance formula from point to the plane, you got your answer. Let's go to the next problem. Coming to this problem, if I take a number, an element in the set of natural numbers, say if I take alpha belonging to n, then I have alpha square minus 4 alpha into alpha plus 3 alpha square. You simplify this, you'll obviously get it as 0. So as this is true, that means according to this one, now I can say that alpha comma alpha belongs to R. So that is the definition of the relation R. If this relation is true, then we say that x comma y belongs to R. So in the place of x and y here, we have alpha and alpha. Therefore I can say alpha comma alpha is there in the relation. Therefore to each element in n, that comma that is there in R, that means R is a reflexive relation. It can be easily proved that it is not symmetric and transitive, and once one of these three fails, it can't be equivalence relation also. But as it is a single answer question and as we have proved it is reflexive, it is enough. Now coming to this problem, we have a building of height h. Okay, this is building, I'm assuming, and this is the hill. Okay, and it is given that the top of the hill was observed from the top and bottom of building, and the angles of elevations are theta and phi. So this is theta, this is phi, and now we have to find height of the hill. So let me call this part as small x, this is h. Now height of the hill is nothing but h plus x. All that I have to do is to find small x. So from this triangle, it is obvious that if I call this as d, now d is nothing but x cot theta, and from this triangle we have d is equal to h plus x into cot phi. So if I equate these two, I'll have h plus x into cot phi is equal to x cot theta. Now we will find x from this. I have x into cot phi minus cot theta is equal to minus h cot phi. So I have x is nothing but h cot phi by cot theta minus cot phi. Now for the height of the hill, you have to go for x plus h. So it is h cot phi by cot theta minus cot phi plus h. And just simplify, you got your answer. And this is a very simple theory based question. You have done many problems of this type in your intermediate textbook. Okay, so let's go to next problem.